Hey, hey, hey. Welcome to Ask Alma Live. That's right. That's right. Yay. It's Tuesday. It's 7 o'clock. And what does that mean? That means you need to be on NMPA Ask Alma Live. That's right. That's right. Hello. Hello. Come on in. Come on in. Let me know you're here. Say hello to me so I'll know that you're with me this evening because I am so happy to see you. So excited about this evening show. So grateful that you guys are joining me. Come on in and comment and let me know that you're watching, that you got your dinner, you're sitting down with us, and you're ready to have a good time. Michelle, how are you, baby girl? Pat, oh my goodness. I'm so glad you're here with us every week, Pat. I don't know what I'd do without you, so you're stuck every Tuesday at 7 o'clock. Sharon, back in the day. How are you, my friend? Patrice, my baby sister, is on here. Tracy, girl, how are you? My cousin is here, and my girl, Mighty Lou. Gail, I still want you on the show. That's my other cousin. We're going to talk about that. Come on in, you guys, to Ask Alma Live. Let me get my disclaimer. Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself. Sharon, Philly, girl, how you doing? Remember, you guys, this is a lot of fun. This is girlfriends, guy friends, everybody friends getting together, having a conversation, hanging out on a Tuesday night at 7. It is a live advice column where we get questions, we answer them, we talk about them. But hey, if you guys are having a serious situation, you really need to talk to a professional. All jokes aside, like reach out to somebody and take care of what you need to take care of. Okay, Jenna Jones. Hey. I have a fantastic panel with me tonight. I am so excited, y'all. We got a guy up in here. We got a grown man on here with us tonight. And then you know that makes me happy. I put on perfume and everything. But anyway, without further ado, I would like to introduce to you my panel for this evening. Come on in, guys. Come on in. Where y'all at?
Hey, girl.
All right. So tonight we have Lee Ivory, my main man, the mayor, Lee Ivory. We got Deidre, Comma G's, my girl. We got Lori Grant. That's my other girl. I know y'all saying, how many girlfriends you got? I really only have like 12, but they all are like my main squeeze girls, okay? So, Lori. Hey, Pat. Hi, Clarice. Dion. Let's start with you, Lori. Come on in here. Introduce yourself to everybody.
I'm here. I'm in the room where it happened, girl. Hi, everybody. I'm Lori Grant. I am a journalist. And all that really means is for the last 30 plus years, I have had lots of fun because it's a fun field. It has some intensity sometimes, but for the most part, it's fun. And it's really, really fun because I've had a chance to work with the rest of the people you see on this panel. And it was just fun every day. And I expect that tonight it's going to be more fun as we run through, quote, the issues.
That's right, Lori. Oh my gosh, it's been so long. We had a great time. We had absolutely great times. Dee Dee, what's going on with you tonight? Hey, girl.
Hey, I've been on vacation for, 10 days, back at work yesterday. So I'm excited about tonight. Glad to see you here. Wish we could see each other in person, but we're gonna hold on until it's time to do that.
For sure.
Absolutely. And the third person on this 4-panel team is my favorite guy, who is really the only guy who would come on here first. So thank you, Mayor Lee Ivory. Introduce yourself to the people.
Hey, my name is Lee Ivory. I, too, am a journalist. A lot of years at Gannett and USA Today. I left there. I was an executive editor and publisher, and most importantly, I was a board member of the National Association of Black Journalists, NABJ in the house.
Yeah.
In the house.
In the house.
Yeah. I think my friends here. So we have mutual friends, a lot of our mutual friends. And so quick shout out, Sharon, Dion,
Yes.
my boy Cyrus, and my sweet cousin Rhonda.
Rhonda.
Thank you. Hey now. So thank you for asking us, Alma. Alma is salt of the earth, everybody, if you don't know. She's the peeps.
Thank you.
She is.
Yeah, Manisha just logged on.
Thank you. Manisha is Michelle Whitty. And Sherry in Maryland. Sherry Knox Curtis. Hey, Sherry, I'm glad you're watching. She said it's her first time. And Pat.
There's Dion Harris. Hey, girl.
Diane Harris. DD. What's up, Diane?
Is Diane here? Oh, good, Diane. Because I was going to do a shout out to you, girl, towards the end of the show. I need you to call me. I can't find your number, and I need to talk to you. Can you call me, please, sometime after the show or tomorrow? Diane Harris, girl. I need to hear from you. Okay.
Good trouble.
Pat is in Houston. And somebody else, I thought they said they were from Houston, too. I have to look back and see if I can find that person so we can do a shout out. Hey, oh, there she is, Karen. Karen Richards is from Houston too. And Pat's down is Pat, are you in Kansas or are you in Houston?
That's quite a difference, huh?
It is quite a difference. And I don't want to mess that up now that I'm thinking about it, because I will. I got to tell y'all this real fast because it cracked me up. So me and Gil is my husband. Y'all know that. We going for a ride because you can't go anywhere. So pretty much you jump in your car, go somewhere, and then you
just
come
take
back. Like you jump in your car, you go somewhere, and you don't even get out of the car. You just turn around and come back. So anyway, long story short, because y'all know I can make it long, but we riding down the road. So we jamming because Sirius Radio has the old school hits on.
Yeah, that's right.
Like the old school, right? Old school. So we jamming. So Teddy Pendergrass comes on. What is that, Teddy? So we jamming. So I go,
turn him off.
I say, Gil, is Teddy dead? And he said,
oh no.
He says, no. I said, Gil, is Teddy still alive? And he said, no. So I go, oh, so we jamming. Hey, bye, Brenda. We jamming. So I go, is he dead?
Well, if he ain't alive,
that kind of leaves a little.
Well, Sandra, shout out Marcus, my baby. Tony D, my college roommate, H-Town, Houston.
Yes.
Great,
Pat cleared that up for us. Pat cleared that up. She in Kansas. Okay,
all
that
right.
was real.
Big difference from Houston.
Kansas in the house.
There you go. Hey, Jay Frails is here from Rhode Island. Hey, Jay.
New York. But y'all know, like, I was having a moment because Gil was like, well, usually if you are not alive, then most likely
you ain't here.
You're right.
I got potential breaking news according to the New York Post. All right. Guess who's getting a divorce? This may not be much of a surprise, but guess who's getting a divorce?
We got the journalist on the panel.
Ding, 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 ding. now this is a source story now, so we got to be careful with that. But according to the New York Post, Kim Kardashian has retained famous Hollywood divorce lawyer Laura Wasser, and Laura is a heavyweight. She represented Angelina, Heidi Klum, Hilary Duff, Stevie Wonder.
Hi, Jay. But how come Kim can't represent herself? I thought she was going to law school.
Yeah, she's studying to be a lawyer. She ain't quite there yet.
She ain't, and she's not in law school.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Yeah.
California's got, they got to do some other stuff going on. So she ain't really in law school. So we digress. We can't
represent ourselves. We get too emotional. you know. my buddy's daddy tried to represent himself in his divorce, and everything was going good until they got to a point in the divorce proceedings where she asked for something that he didn't know about. He cussed out her, the lawyer, his lawyer, the judge. So what do you think happened?
That didn't go well.
He wasn't exactly homeless, but he was houseless.
Yeah.
After that.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
There's a difference.
And Lee, you know what? Next time you need to ask them to send a question to Ask Alma.
I know, right? What not to do.
Right.
From Chicago.
Things not to do.
Right.
Hey, Josephine, I'm glad you're with us tonight.
Good
to see you.
Nice.
Okay, guys, y'all ready?
We're ready.
It's time to hear
Dean Hayes.
Ask Alma questions of the evening.
Okay.
So y'all get ready.
Get ready.
We need to give some decent advice to these peoples.
Okay.
Okay. Question number 1. Hit it.
Hi, Alma. Here's this week's Ask Alma question, and it's about a mystery donation. The key word is mystery because it's a mystery. Like, can you solve this? Because this person needs help. Dear Alma, a good friend died in July after a long illness. They were far too young, but their transition was not completely unexpected. People were told that a charity would be set up in the deceased's name and given an address where to send donations. It's now 6 months later. We've heard nothing more. No thank you notes, no announcement of the charity, no total amount of the donations, what the money would be used for, but the checks were cashed. So the money's gone. Somebody has it. I felt it was too soon to get in touch with the family to ask. And if they needed money for a funeral or other expenses, that would have been fine. And I don't think anyone else would have objected because, you know, somebody passed and sometimes people need help. That's my own input. Then I heard about a month after the death, members of the family were spotted at one of our favorite restaurants having lunch. So they just weren't sitting at home, grieving, mourning, the usual. Do you have a suggestion on how to tactfully follow up? It seems a little perplexing. Yours, bereaved and puzzled friend. I'm puzzled too. So, can you solve this mystery, Alma? I hope so, because this person needs some help.
All right, hold on, y'all. Hold on. Because first, I want to say thank you to that VVR, our volunteer video readers. Let me remind folks who are watching, please reach out to alwayaskalma@gmail.com. Send me questions. Let me know. Email me if you want to be a volunteer video reader, because I'm really excited. This woman, she and her mom did the questions for this week. So that was very nice of them. We can have, family members, y'all get together and do it together, husband and wife, all those good old things. We make it a lot of fun. 2 sisters, we work that out. So thank you for that, coming out of Long Island, New York. Thank you. I really appreciate that, Layla. Thank you. So the question, and I have a printout of it right here. So a good friend died, and after a long illness, so it wasn't a surprise to anybody, but the person was young, and so it was heartbreaking. The family said that there would be a charity set up in the name of that person. Well, and asked for donations from everybody to set up the charity. Well, here we go, 6 months, going on 7 months later, and then nobody heard about a charity or anything, and they've all sort of donated their money, including this woman. And so she wants to know, can she ask about it, or is it rude to ask about it? Because they didn't say, and she had this in the question, they didn't say GoFundMe so we can do the funeral. That was not what they asked for. They said, we are starting a charity under this person's name, and we would appreciate you guys donating. ain't nobody heard about no charity. So
Well,
let me start with you, Lori. What do you think?
all right. I think that it is too soon to be asking where's the money. 6 months flies by, number one. Number two, these things take time to set up. You got to touch base with the lawyer. You got to get the whatever you got to get to have the setup. You got accounts, etc. And because you saw somebody having lunch during COVID, I'm a little bit more suspect about that myself.
COVID,
but
yeah.
because you saw some folks having lunch, does not mean they took your money to have lunch. I think 6 months is a little too soon. Now, a year, we need to know.
A year?
we need to know what's going on within a year. Because here's the reality. As a charity, I might want to donate more, right? But I just need to know, by then we need some, listen, Lee, talk about no. By then, we need to have some EIN numbers or, charity ID numbers, just so I can follow up and see where things are. But I do think 6 months is too soon. It's just too soon.
6 months is not enough.
Yeah, I think you need a year in, you're good.
I agree with Lori about, them having lunch out is no indication that they're spending that money. But if they cash the checks, then they should have, I assume then that they have all of that paperwork and those numbers and things together. So I would just, I would approach it with, hey, I want to donate more money. What is the charity called? Where is it? How can I get my friends to contribute as well?
Right.
Right. I would ask.
Gail asked if the cash was checked. Yes. In the email, she said the checks were cashed. Lee, what you think, bro, man?
Well, see, Lori talking about EIN numbers and all that.
I know, right?
What I think they need is WHIPPING. Somebody need an ass whipping, okay?
6 months, Lee. 6 months.
I don't care if it was 1 month, okay? If you're going to do the GoFundMe thing, you need to be like, getting right back to people saying, hey, thank you. This is where the money is going. This is how much we collected so far. You ain't got to have no, incorporation numbers and stats and all that kind of thing.
Well, but I mean, if you're gonna question the legitimacy of it, then those are the things that would help. Now, I agree with you. Just as somebody who's received something from the public,
right.
All of us have made donations to some sort of charity or to our alma maters or something like that. And you always get a letter that says, thank you for your contribution. I don't care if it was $25. Yeah. They say, thank you, we received it. You need some sort of acknowledgement that it's going to where it's going. But I just think if I'm setting up a charity or I'm setting up an endowment at a school in your name or something like that, it just doesn't happen on a turn of a dime. And I think 6 months is kind of soon.
But thank you note. They didn't heard anything.
And see,
thank you note, some guide, just some evidence that we're going to use. Tracy said maybe the deceased was the charity. Because you should have something, some recognition that I sent. And if it's a loved one, I probably sent more to them than I might have sent to some other organization. So you at the very least say, hey, we got your money and this is what we're going to do with it.
Well, I see, now that would too. Sure. Now see, but that would be etiquette. You're all right. Now, if they're ratchet people, we can't do nothing about that. But the fact of the matter is, in 6 months, the question was, should I get in touch with them? And I'm saying in 6 months, give them a little bit more time before you approach them. They're grieving. They've got to set things in place. I know they had lunch, but they could still be grieving. Mm-hmm. So 6 months for you to get back and say, hey, what you do with my money? That's basically what you're saying.
You want to know what you did with their money.
If I've donated some serious money, okay, and I haven't even, like Dion says, if I haven't gotten at least one of those tax,
thank you,
and I fall through the restaurant, or y'all sit up escargot.
Yeah, escargot, it's time to go.
I'm putting on my Converse and waiting for y'all outside. Somebody's gonna give me something. They're gonna get a bite.
That was
God have
funny.
mercy.
But no, but the thing is, but you have to be straight. I mean, you got to understand there's been so much fraud, especially with, playing on people's emotions and people die. And, I mean, how many times have we seen, especially in the news business, where parents are taking advantage of sick kids and all that kind of thing, and send me money, my child is sick and we need this and all that kind of stuff. And how many, obviously there's a lot of good people out there who need the money, but there also is a lot of fraud out there. And so Gofundme, those kinds of things are rife with fraud. And so you have to be careful. You really need to be as transparent as you possibly can. And the decent thing to do is to, on GoFundMe, there's supposed to be like a running tally of what people are donating.
Right.
But it wasn't dope. It wasn't a GoFundMe. It was not a GoFundMe. It was just it was someone was setting up a charity in somebody's name.
I assumed
Right.
GoFundMe.
Yeah. No, but I think they need a little bit of time. I'm with Lori on this one. I think 9 months you should have heard from somebody, but I also think that even if you are setting up the charity, that you can respond with a thank you note.
Yeah, right.
Right. That's just good manners.
You received it, right? We just talking good manners, with that.
Yeah.
And what's the charity for? Not,
right. Never did say the family had. That's what they were waiting on. The family.
That's why
I would not have donated yet. But that's
exactly. Y'all set it up.
Right.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Is it?
Yeah.
I might send you some coins, but honestly,
exactly.
I'm one to bring you food. I can drop off anything you need. I'm not really big on GoFundMe's or send me money anyway.
Right.
I have a hard time shopping on certain sites online.
Yeah.
Same thing, Alma. Same thing.
Yeah.
I've done it, on occasion, and it's been pretty worthwhile causes and stuff like that, because people are doing bad, man.
Yeah.
And I'll take them something.
Yeah,
I'll drive it over. I'm just saying.
Right.
Yeah, but
I do think people who do that keep doing it. God bless you. I'm glad you're okay with it.
Sure. But here's the thing. Charities have a purpose. That's not just, if I put a charity up in your name, it's because you had a heart for foster children, or you had a heart for, libraries or whatever. So the charity in your name is meant to fund something that was dear to the person who's deceased. So things like what it was established for should have been established right up front, I think. Right. But to the degree that they didn't do that, because you asked me for $10, I kind of need to know what's going on. But
maybe it was like she said, it was a friend. Because like if Lori, if you say, I need you to donate to this, I'm just going to donate to it. I'm not going to ask you about details. Same thing.
Right.
Lee.
Right.
As a matter of fact, Lee, I mean, especially when we were at USAT, if anything happened to anybody, he was the first one to we all gonna pool in together.
We doing a collection.
Whatever, yeah.
Okay.
So a lot of times we didn't have a lot of
we have to also consider that in that emotional moment when they said, hey, we're going to do a charity in her name, they may not even have thought it through. Right. They may have just said, we need to do something to recognize this person.
Right.
And then, after thought, this was a bad idea. Or maybe
they should have passed the checks while they were thinking. They should have put the checks in an envelope until they thought that thing through.
I agree.
Okay, this is fantastic. Lee, wrap it up for me.
Real quick, I just wanted to say that I'm starting to GoFundMe for me.
No.
And the purpose is because I'm hungry.
No.
You ain't hungry.
No.
Shonda, no, you ain't hungry. I know you're right.
Shout out to Polar Bear, one of my college partners.
All right, I see Angelique is in here. Hey, Angelique Diggs.
Yes. Stacey Brown, thank you so much for chiming in. I appreciate it so much. Jackie, and shout out to Jackie's mom.
Yeah, and
this is
brother.
Okay, you guys ready for question number 2? It's a good one. It's kind of long. I'm gonna need y'all to lean in and pay attention.
Right.
All right.
Okay. Question number 2 from our volunteer video reader. Hit it.
Here's this week's Ask Alma question. I need advice about a terrible family situation that involves me and my siblings. It's breaking us apart. I'm one of 9 children. We were all born and raised in the South. My parents farmed the land and taught us how to do it. We never liked it and couldn't wait to get away and go north to college. We all attended various colleges and universities and never returned home, all but one of my brothers. He stayed in North Carolina and helped my parents until they died. After they died, he moved into the house on the property and has been living there ever since. He's kept the property up and paid the taxes. Now my brothers and sisters want to sell the farmland and split the money. My brother who stays says the house should be his, and he doesn't want to sell it. We are totally divided. 6 of my siblings have decided to take my brother to court and force him to sell the land. Only one brother has decided we shouldn't sell it. I don't care either way. We're all in our 60s, distinguished folks with profitable careers. We're active in our respective churches and ready to retire, if not already retired. I love my family. And if you met us, you'd never believe what's going on behind closed doors. I don't understand why we can't talk to each other and just get along. I want to settle this before one of us dies and we never get to resolve the issue. What can I do?
You know what? I don't think I have favorite questions, but there are some questions that sit a little bit differently with me. And I think this one sat a little bit differently. To recap a little bit, basically it's a family feud, a family with multiple siblings, which you don't see all the time now anyway. And I'm sure that their parents worked hard and bought their property, and farmed that land and thought, if we can just do this and get this taken care of, our kids will be able to go to college and go off and do great things, which it sounds like they were able to do. And the one brother didn't leave the small town. He stayed and, farmed the land, helped the parents. The parents died. He paid the taxes. She said it. He paid the taxes. He took care of the property and everything. Well, now, around retirement time, a couple of the siblings, 6 of them, have decided we need to sell it because we've had it forever. And all of us can get some coins because, we all deserve it. And the one sister is saying that she thinks the brother who stayed, the brother who never left, deserves the house. And
it's a tough one. It's a tough one because I come from the deep South, and so I know a lot of situations like this. My homeboy who just weighed in, Humphrey Rutherford comes from a huge family where they had a farm, and their parents passed, and they had to go through that. And everybody wants a piece of the pie after the dust settles. You know what I mean? And that doesn't mean that they're necessarily entitled. I mean, the one brother who hung back and took care of things, paid the taxes.
Paid the taxes. Thank you. Paid the taxes.
Kept everything straight. Now, the one question, I agree. One of our viewers here, Ms. Patel, chimed in and said, "Did the parents have a will?" And so
say that. I'm thinking they left it to the kids. Like maybe they left it to all of them.
Yeah, maybe. But if they didn't have a will, I mean, I think, death does a strange things to families,
Yes, it does.
We've all seen that. I mean, very perfectly reasonable people. And when death hits and everybody is reaching out, trying to grab stuff. But I think that in my mind, I think the brother that stayed behind and kept things going, made things right, he at least deserves a larger share. You know, whatever that share is. But I think that they need to come together. Everybody's going to church. Everybody's supposed to be a Christian. Everybody needs to come together and have a Christian family meeting and talk about this and stop being greedy. You know, put that to the side.
Right.
Because that ain't Christian.
That ain't Christian, you know, and see if you can figure it out, you know.
Two questions come to mind for me is what happened all of a sudden that they want to sell? Like, it sounds like he's been living in this house for a while. So what happened?
60-something.
Right. So what happened that what day did they say, oh, all of a sudden we need to sell the property? And my other question is right out of my head.
Yeah. But she said they were now in their 60s. So everybody's retirement
up in age.
And their children perhaps have needs, and this is a way to help meet some of that. But I want to weigh in, but go ahead, Dee, please finish.
If they sell the property, where does he live? So not only do they sell the property, then he now has to find someplace else to live, which seems unreasonable since he's lived there. It sounds like his entire life.
Yeah. Well, I think so, you know, I don't know if this is an African-American family.
Yes, it is.
But okay, I did kind of know, but I just, you know, here's the reality though. Owning homes and owning land, it's like climbing Mount Everest for us. Yeah. Wasn't easy to get loans to buy. It was a farming society to keep it rolling. All of them know how tedious that kind of work is because they all fled it. This one brother hangs back, says, no sweat, I love it. This is home. I'm going to keep it. And more specifically, I'm going to pay the taxes. Now, they're not making any more land. So when you give up your family's land, you got nothing else. You've gotten rid of everything that your mother and father have worked for with the intent that the 9 of y'all would always have something. So if you don't want to come back to it, don't come back to it. But to disenfranchise the one brother out of 9 of y'all, the one who decided, I'm going to keep the property up, I'm going to pay, I can't say it enough, I'm going to pay the taxes. I'm going to pay the taxes. Is if you don't do that, there is no land. Now, as far as the 6 who are going to court, why do you take your brother to law? The 6 of y'all can't come and reason together. And the reality is, maybe depending on where it is, and we know what gentrification is like, and we know what development is like. My mom is one of 9, and my dad is one of 9. Both their parents had property. Both their parents did not leave a will, but their parents stipulated that this land would fall to the children. And as one child died, the other child, just going down in age, would own it, not grandchildren. So it didn't become, you know, all muddy. Yeah. So I don't know what stipulations may have been made here, but I know that 8 people were disinterested. And the one person who maintained it kept the family's property in the family's name, really, and paid the taxes. Paid the taxes. Y'all come on, y'all, let it go.
Here's real talk, though. What I know, and what a lot of people who are weighing in here, Sharon Green, Lowell Sanders, that if it goes to the courts, a lot of times that's how African Americans lose property. You know, sure. I can't tell you how many stories I know of families down south, you know, where I came from. They had 200-300 acres, you know, and that land is gone now because, you know, delinquent taxes, family feuds, and all that kind of stuff. So if you want to keep some of that land or even try to make some money off of it, they better come together as a family, and cooler heads need to prevail, and Christian heads need to prevail, and get this thing solved, you know, within the family, because once it gets out in the courts, it's out of your hands.
Yeah, because you know, then it's a legal matter, and without a will, now it's probated and decided by the court. Exactly. Now, in no way in the world, your mom and daddy had 9 children and thought that one day a court was going to decide what it is they worked all their lives to leave those kids. And I'm gonna say this again: that man who paid the taxes.
Thank
Okay.
you.
I'm not even understanding why this is an issue, because he is Christian, because if he was Lee, he'd have told the rest of them something else.
I wouldn't have been myself. We'd have been.
Mm-hmm.
This is a lesson in how important it is to leave wills. We see every day people leaving here with no guidance on how anything should.
It's tough.
So this tells you need to. I remember when my grandmother had 9 children, and she had one insurance policy that had been purchased when the last 3 were very small, and she stipulated they need to divide it up by 3, and that extra penny goes to this one.
Yeah.
Because she said, I was not about to have them fighting over the 1 cent that couldn't be divided.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And she's very specific about it. I think we don't do that as much as we should. And this is the perfect example of why you have to leave wills.
But what if the parents did leave a will and say, like, I'm leaving it to my children to divide amongst them evenly? I think the situation here is that the brother stayed and paid the taxes.
Yeah.
So he should get more. He should be able to say what they're going to do. I understand they're all in their 60s, like Lori or somebody commenting, I'm not sure, has said maybe grandkids need stuff, and I get all of that. But when everybody moved to handle their business, he stayed.
Right.
And
but because
there is one other solution here, though. Because the land is what it is, and it's 9 of them, they can have the property assessed, divided by 9. And so now each one of them would know what their share, what the value of their share is. The one brother, if he has it like that, he can buy the rest of them out.
Well, the other thing that I said that I was thinking, and I think Sharon mentioned the same thing. I saw it a couple of times come up on the side. Maybe sell the land, not the house, or the land that the house is on.
Yeah, leave the brother alone.
The land, right? Leave the brother alone. Assess the land, sell it, and then divide that by everybody except the brother.
Yeah.
Or add the brother.
But because it's heir property, there is a valuation that you can do, and and break it down like that. But still, even if you do it that way, that still ain't right for the brother that stayed and paid the tax.
Right. Because like Pat brought up too that we failed to mention, he took care of the parents.
He took care of the parents.
Right. Extra.
Right. So here come all the Johnny come latelys talking about what they want. Go sit down, please. Go sit down.
They were deacons in the church.
But it's a familiar, I know, right? But it's a familiar refrain for the people that stay behind, and they always get screwed. Lori, remember when we had dinner with Dr. Hill and Anita Hill, and she
was, I love you so
much. Hey Africa. And she was telling us about Clarence Thomas. Remember when Clarence Thomas was when he was testifying, he was talking about his sister couldn't wait. She was standing outside on the porch waiting for the welfare check to come. Well, real quick, what happened was the sister stayed behind while Clarence and his brother got the opportunity to go to college.
Right. And the sister stayed and took care of the grandparents.
The parents. It was cooking and cleaning and sewing and all that kind of thing. And then, fast forward 40 years, she's got 2 kids, a couple of kids of her own. She had to take care of the matriarch of the family who was in bad shape. And so she needed assistance. It wasn't like she was a welfare cheat or nothing like that. Right. It was really, really sad and insidious from his point of view to dog her out when she stayed behind all those years.
Right.
She did that.
And we got to keep in mind that generation. I know you got to get to the next question, Alma. This really is going to be my last comment. That generation, the generation of the parents, having the whole mindset to create a will, to sit down and pay lawyers to do things, was a matter of, did we have the income and did we trust? Right. The thinking was, I got these 9 kids here, especially who I put through college. They're supposed to have some sense. And they ought to be able, to get this to get this done. I think it's an unfortunate, very, very, very unfortunate situation. And Lee, when you let off, you really did hit the nail on the head that something about death turns us around.
Yeah.
You know, we lose all moorings.
It does.
Hey, like my cousin used to say, common sense ain't so common.
Ain't so common. Ain't so common.
No. Thank you guys for this, and thank you for your comments. That was really great. I wanted this person to hear a lot of feedback. She told me she would be listening. I'm glad she is listening, and I think and I hope and I pray, just like the rest of you, that whatever they decide, they all come back together before something happens to one of them. Because if you lose a sibling in the middle of all of this, trust me, you will change all the thoughts you had about how you decided it should work out. We have a third question for tonight, and this gentleman, I think, is coming to us out of Colorado. Thank you to this volunteer video reader. His name is Trey. Hit it.
Good morning, Alma. This is Trey from Denver, Colorado. And I have a question for you. And this is what I want to ask. So I'm starting to feel used when I go out with the women I'm spending time with. She never offers to pay. She orders appetizers and meal extras like there's no tomorrow. And when we go to pick up the food, she never offers to pay. She never offers to pay half of anything. Never when we go to a hotel, never when we rent a car and take a drive over the weekend. She has plenty of cash for clothes, shoes, and hair. Since I'm married, and this woman is not my wife, my friends say that I should pay and be quiet, a small price for what they say, easy, mind-blowing sex. And I can't take it anymore. It simply annoys me to no end. How do I tell this woman that I am not her sugar daddy? What is your advice, Alma? Thank you.
Wait. I was gonna go in, but go ahead, Lee. Go ahead.
What you talking about? Come on, man. Come on, man. Ain't no romance without finance, baby. You know, come on now.
Half.
Talk about bury the lead. Now I got
Right. Talk about bury the lead.
Inverted pyramid, right?
Yeah, exactly.
She ain't my wife.
This woman, what? Third sentence from the end. Since this woman is not my wife.
Right. Yeah, man.
Angelique Diggs said, how do you ask the side piece to pay? Come on.
Right.
Preach, Angelique. You know, to that point, I was getting ready to say, well, you know what this side of the you is.
That's right. Although I must say, I was touched that he did reach out to me. Because,
right.
You know, and then he had a question. He was like,
you know, but you
what?
Alma, you weren't the first person he asked. He asked all of his friends. When you think about this arrangement where I have to pay for everything, and his friend was like, "What?" Even his friends was like, "Dude, just pick up the check and leave it alone." And that wasn't enough. That wasn't enough. He said, "Let me ask Alma because he has a
and everything." He said the restaurant, the hotel, whatever. He needs her to pay half. Man,
and she has plenty of money.
Go sit down.
My friend brought up they say, how you get the side piece to pay? Oh,
although what's wrong with asking a side piece to pay? I'm asking for a friend. Like you can't ask a side piece to pay? guy. Like,
Come
I
on,
never
spill secrets, Lee. Spill the secrets. Come on.
I don't know.
Come on, Lee. Spill the guy's secrets. Look, we want to know. We're like Alma. We're asking for a friend.
Right,
Spill the secrets.
That's what I'm saying. He is the sugar daddy. I mean, don't be acting like you don't know. You know what I mean? And all of this going to the beauty shop, getting, duded up and all that. That's for you. That's her investment. Your investment is eating and drinking and whatever else.
Right. Oh, Africa, the guy who just asked the last question. He was asking. He was saying that his date never pays. She never pays half for the food. She never pays half for the hotel. She orders all the food she wants, and she's like doing everything she wants to do when they get together, but she never contributes.
And she makes a lot of money.
And she makes money and she can pay. And he was wondering, like, how could he approach her and tell her that she needs to add some coins to what's happening, but his friends told him, since it's not his wife, that he shouldn't be concerned about her paying.
Bob Brandon said, "Bye, Trey."
A portion of their entertainment costs.
He need to go on about his business.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
Someone said, "Step up your game." I don't know what kind of game he can come with.
Yeah, he ain't got no game.
Have her picking up the check.
Yeah, he ain't got no game.
And he has no game, and he needs to stop the sugar daddy role if he can't even pay half. I mean, he's mad that he's got to shell out some coins. Lord have mercy.
Yeah, my man Lowell Sanders down in Arkansas said maybe he needs to start ordering takeout. Way he can keep the costs down.
And with COVID, they got to pick up. So maybe it's not costing him that much anymore.
No, Lord.
He was a young guy too, so he's. I think he's a young guy, so he's got a little bit to learn.
Brother man who read the question though, he had like a serious radio voice.
Well, he starts out by saying, he's feeling used by this woman.
Used. I'm feeling used.
Yeah. BB say I took you out for a steak dinner. You said thanks for the snack. So, you beautiful children. Now you're trying to give them back.
I love it. That was terrible.
Terrible.
Would people feel differently if it was the opposite? If it was the woman?
See, dudes wouldn't be saying nothing about if it was opposite. Dudes, man, we're so easy, man. We're just so easy. We don't need gourmet meals and all that kind of stuff. And plus, if you come on over and hang out, that's all we need. You know what I mean? We ain't all advanced and complicated, man. We try to front like we are. We ain't. Please.
Did you just say men are easy?
They are really. He is so right. He is so right. That's why I've been married for 25 years. They are easy. And once you figure that out and you know that, it is, I'm telling you, it's easy.
Yeah.
Like Lee said, you got something to eat and you got a quick activity, you good. They ain't really asking for nothing else. and stop asking them for stuff. Like when I was like, I want my husband to go with me here. I don't want my husband to go with me nowhere unless he's driving. Because other than that, I can just go with my girlfriends and I'm good. Thank you.
Wow. That was a stunner. I'm glad that one was last.
But I don't have a
man cave,
Right. He can go to his man cave and don't have a problem with that because while he in the man cave, girl, you got 4 or 5 other rooms up in that house to do something where ain't nobody worried about him in that little space over there.
Over there.
Now, see,
Diane suggested that maybe he just wants her to ask to pay. Maybe he doesn't really want her to pay. He just wants her to offer.
Well, you shouldn't start nothing you're not going to keep up. I never offered and I'm a wife. I ain't never offered. My husband, it is so funny. I heard him tell his friend a couple of years ago, I don't even know if she ever got a raise because she don't even talk about it. Like, I've been working at the same place forever, but like, no, we don't have those kind of conversations. It's like, did I get a raise? I don't know, babe. Let me check. Or,
right?
you know, your husband say, you got any change? I might have $2. But like,
Now I'm gonna tell you, this is real. Y'all ever been out with a married couple where they paid separately?
Never.
oh,
I have.
No.
really?
It was the oddest looking thing in the world. It was the oddest looking thing. I was
So
like,
wait. When the checks came back, they asked for individual checks for themselves?
yes, they did. Yes, they
First
did.
of all, I hate when everybody got to have a check, number one. Just let me just put that out there for everybody. That drives me crazy.
So how do you handle that, Lee? You're sitting there while this is happening in front of you, and you do what? You pay for everybody?
No, I'll pay for
No.
me and mine, and I'm gonna do that. I was just like, oh wow, I've never seen that before, you know.
But can't, like, a lot of times I think we take even if I have a salad and water and you order a steak, I mean, I just think we take the tab and divide it when it's couples.
Yeah,
just divide it. But
I'm gonna tell you, you know, everybody ain't fair when it comes to that, because that's what USA Today taught me, man. That's hey, D, you know, me and D, all them used to go. Oh yeah, everybody's sitting up having
If you're the last to leave,
you're the last to leave, man.
You got a little surprise at the end.
You can pay your $20, and it's like 200. What? What? Hey, wait a minute.
And it's $14.50 on the table.
You know, you going out there throwing your body in front of the parking garage. You better back up.
no, but see, I don't let people leave in groups. Y'all know I would say something. Hey, did you put your money down?
Yeah, Alma was great. She was great. Alma was always like, she was like herding cats, man, but she could do it, you know. And people didn't mess with Alma. They were scared of Alma.
Well, I don't know. Brother man is just he needs to retreat. He needs to pull himself out of the game for all of the reasons, all the moral reasons, etc. But clearly he's not up to the game that he's in. He's just not up to it.
There's a reason why she's with a married man, because she's not interested in paying for herself or having to have that conversation. But he's not equipped to be in that kind of situation.
He said he is not a sugar daddy.
but even
he's a sugar baby.
But even if he was not married and it was just the two of them dating, she still is not interested in paying. This man is courting her. He's taking her out. So now
Bernadine Hayes said he needs to eat at home.
Bernadine, we need you on the panel.
I'll hook you up. You know?
That was funny and true. Like, yeah, he is not even really ready to step out. I don't even know.
Well, if his wife is watching, then he won't have that problem anymore either. So that'll take care of it.
I know, because I
he can't afford two women.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And I
cannot afford two women.
Like he broke in, and what the little boy on the video say? Jaden broke. That's
Jaden broke. Yes.
He sound like Jaden, right?
Yeah.
Jaden is broke.
And really, that's what he's mad about. He's not mad that she won't. He's not really mad at her because he's already getting the benefit of being with her. He's mad because his wallet keeps going down.
Got to pay the cost to be the boss, you know.
Well, there it is.
Because the wife got some bills he need to pay too.
Well, that's why he needs to come out of he needs to come out of the game for a whole bunch of reasons. But you know, if you can't if your wallet can't manage it, go sit down. Really, for real.
He's counting her money. He clearly chose her thinking that it would be easy because he's in her pocket. Mm-hmm. She can afford to do this. She can afford to do that. She buys shoes. She buys all these things. I don't understand why she can't, pay for a meal. Well, because she doesn't have to.
She doesn't want to.
Preach.
Exactly.
Preach.
And she's determined she's not going to.
She's paying for her meals in a totally different way.
In a totally different way.
and her outings and all of that. It don't come free.
Hey, she probably short them on that too. You know what I'm saying?
You know, you get what you pay for.
Right. She probably short them on that too. Oh, I got money. I'm too full.
I couldn't eat all of that.
Right.
And anybody who eaten all of that before, y'all gonna hang out ain't really looking forward to too much anyway, I might add.
Uncle, you say time to flatten out.
Lee, your brothers are up here just going in on you. Hump is going in. Marvin Lee is going in. They're going in on you.
That's my boys. That's my boy.
Yeah, you spilling secrets, and so they're like, "Dang, Lee, bring it back."
Hey, I told you not let Lee come on the show.
Look, y'all, Lee coming on next week too. Now, Lee and Lori.
Real talk.
Oh my Lord.
Man.
There he is. There he is.
Real talk, right? You wanted real talk.
That's right. Real talk. Real talk.
Well, Alma, when you
said, I told you not to bring Lee on here.
So I've been waiting for you, Robin, all night.
Right. So Alma, when you answered him, what did you say?
When I answered him, I said pretty much what we said.
Right.
That you getting paid, bro.
Right.
Like what, like I smell a rat and it ain't on the table. Like, get yourself together. And number one, stop messing around on your wife because you don't know how, and you're not and you're not enjoying yourself. Let's talk about that. And the only thing you wanted to do was like talk up some stuff to your friends who basically told you, man, you don't even know what you're doing. Stop.
Yeah, right.
So stop. Take your childish ways.
Right.
And grow up and do what you need to do. Pretty much, yeah, that's what I say.
The reality is if he wanted to just have sex, he could find someone that would just have sex with him and he wouldn't have to do all that other stuff.
If he was nice, he could just have sex with his wife.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
you make an excellent point, Alma.
Can you bring her an appetizer on your way home from work? Like, how about that?
You still pay half. His wife would probably pay half.
You should go. Thank you. Half of his money, and he don't even know. That's a smart wife right there. You guys, we have 3 minutes left. I want to say,
where did time go?
Where did the time go? Where did the time go? I want to thank everybody who has commented and hung out with us this evening because I'm telling you, it was great. Didn't I tell y'all it was going to be fun?
It was fun. So much fun.
It was going to be so much fun. And the time goes by so fast. There are a couple of things that I want to say. I'm not ready to wrap up, but I do want to remind folks to subscribe to your Black-owned newspapers. This Ask Alma Live is produced by NMPA, and NMPA is a part of the African American owned newspapers across the country. There are over 200.
That's right.
So there's one in your neighborhood. Find out which one it is. Look for my column that usually runs once a week. And if it's not in there, say something. But it should be in there. If you like Ask Alma and you like joining us here, you should subscribe. I mean, I see on social media all the time, oh, so they didn't cover this in mainstream media. It has nothing to do with mainstream media. If you're interested in reading our stories and our point of view and what's happening at our colleges and universities and what people are doing across the country, subscribe to a Black-owned newspaper. I have friends who are not African American subscribing to Black-owned newspapers. So please take the time to do that to keep these businesses afloat, because many, 9 out of 10 were started by families.
That's right.
Usually
by families, absolutely. So they need you. Thank you to my volunteer video readers. Again, you guys, if you want to read one of the questions, email me at alwaysaskalma@gmail.com. Go to Facebook, find Ask Alma. All the information is there. Lori Grant.
So much fun. So much fun. Good to
Girl.
see you and UD
Lee
and you, me.
Ivory. You know I love you. Been loving you, loving you. Tell Sean I said hey. And Dee Dee, girl, we go too far back. I ain't gonna talk about it with the gray. You guys, thank you. I cannot thank you enough. And I hope you want to come back. Lee, Lori,
Absolutely.
email me, let me know.
Anytime.
Bye, everybody.
Anytime.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank y'all.
Don't hang up.
Thanks,
Don't hang
everybody.
up. Lori.
Okay. I'm here.